Here's how you can have a strong business leveraging your client experience without relying solely on a good offer. So here's the truth. Most businesses or most people think that if you have a good offer, your client experience will speak for itself. But I've been in business long enough to know that that's not always the case, right? In fact, most of us at some point have had, I like to call it the Denzel mentality, where we're like, ain't nobody else's offer got nothing on mine. You know what I'm saying? You're like, listen, I got the offer. That means people are going to come to me. They're going to talk about me. They're going to refer me. They're going to do all these things so that I can make the money. I'm about to go get the bag because my offer is good. But that is not the full story. In fact, you can have a really great offer, deliver on the promise, and still have a client walk away and say, yeah, I ain't paying them again. I'm good. I'm going to just go pay little Johnny down the street, right? And that's not what we want. So let me give you a practical example to show you what I mean. Let's think about flying. A plane or airline's job is to get you from point A to point B in a safe manner, right? And they can get you to your destination safely, and that's what they're supposed to do. That's the promise. Get you from point A to point B safely. That's their job. But think about if you flew that airline, but the check-in process was horrible, the booking process and checking your bags was horrible, the flight attendants didn't communicate with you, the pilots were all over the place when you had a flight delay, they didn't tell you what was going on. Just think about having that bad experience. You're going to be thinking to yourself, I'm never flying Spirit again. Okay, I'm not going to hate on Spirit Airlines today, but you get where I'm going. You can have a great offer, that promise of getting them from point A to point B, but the experience is bad that it makes you second guess trusting that business with your money again. Crazy thing is, this happens in business too. And so I want to show you 3 things that you can do starting right now to start moving in a different direction to where you can leverage your client experience to grow your business, help clients stay with you longer, and make sure that they help you double down on those referrals. So let's get into it. Grab your pen. Step 1. I want you to make note of what happens the first 5 minutes after someone pays you. While you're writing that down, I want you to ask yourself this one simple question. After someone pays me, do they immediately know what to do, where to go, and what to expect next? All right? What to do, where to go, and what to expect next. One of the dead giveaways that you may be lacking in the communication to your client after they paid are emails like, hey, I've paid, what do I do now? Or maybe you have a client portal and they say, hey, I've logged in, where do I start? And maybe they're like, hey, when is the next class? Or when's the first class? I need to know. If you're getting emails like this is saying that there's some lack of clarity somewhere in the initial communication that's going out to your client. And this is not a client problem. This is a clarity gap that we have to work to close. All right. So today, I want you to identify if you're seeing these things show up. And if they are, I want you to redraft that initial email that goes out to your client and record a video, and we'll talk about why both of those are important in another video, and be able to clearly identify what to do, where to go, and what to expect next. All right? Next one, step 2. Find where clients are starting to drift. If you can find this, you'll immediately be able to identify a place where you're winning or losing your client's attention in the process. This is important because if you know exactly where to pinpoint where you're losing them, this helps you know why they may be stalling, why they stop showing up, maybe why they stop engaging if you have a community chat. This tells you what areas you need to maybe implement milestones or check-in points. So if any of these things are showing up where there's stall points, or you see that clients just stop engaging with you, I want you to get intentional. I want you to identify those areas and then immediately create a checkpoint or a milestone. So as an example, if you have a digital course and you notice most of the time clients fall off, let's say after module 4. what you can do is implement a checkpoint. So you can set an automation depending on the software or the tool that you're using. And after they've completed module 4, shoot them an automated email or text message and say, hey, awesome, you've completed this module. So by now you should have accomplished all of the action steps from the previous modules. Congratulations. Now here's what I want you to do next. Give them an action plan and say something along the lines of, once you've done that, drop done in the community chat and my team has something special for you. Or drop done in the chat, and as soon as you've done that, I want to make sure I congratulate you on your milestone of being, heading into module 5. And so this allows them to get excited. People love recognition, and it also allows them to re-engage and make sure that you're giving them an action step. So step 2, find out where those clients are starting to, what I like to call, drift. All right. So step 3, last one. Add one support moment that proves that they are not doing this alone. This is what makes the experience feel human. I always like to say we are just people serving other people. Yes, we are entrepreneurs and business owners and all these things, but at the end of the day, everyone wants to feel supported in some way. And I love this because one of the things that you can do is think about being proactive. I often share that, being proactive and being reactive are two different things. Customer service is meant to be reactive. But when you're building a client experience, it's about being proactive and thinking about the answer to a question that your client hasn't even asked yet, right? And so here's a perfect example. If you utilize your phone, you've probably seen this feature. You get a verification code and they're like, hey, we're going to text you the verification code or maybe email it. And instead of you having to go look for the code, your Apple or Android, they've already thought about the fact that you're going to say, hey, where's that code? So they created a feature that when that code is sent, it automatically pops up and you can paste it right into that box where it's asking for the verification code. That is what it looks like to be proactive and think about the answer to a question before your client ever has to ask it. So I want you to think about that. Where can you have a proactive message to a question that you already know that they're going to ask? You can also ask yourself, what can they focus on this week? Be able to maybe send them out messages every week, depending on how your program is set up, and say, hey, this week, this is what you should be working on. Or maybe at the end of the week, hey, this is what you should have accomplished this week. And so today, I want you to add one touch point that helps them feel guided and supported throughout your process so that I like to say confusion never even has a chance, right? So in closing, if you do these 3 things, you're going to find that you're starting to develop what I call experience. You're starting to not just have that client journey, but now you're adding the touch points that help your clients understand that you recognize they're not just a transaction, but they are a business owner and you are a business owner. You're serving each other through the process. Clients love to know that you care, that they're seen, and that they're supported. And so when you can start to implement these things into your client experience, you'll notice that your retention is going to get stronger. Clients are going to want to stay because you created a welcome environment for them. You never want to go to somebody else's house and they don't make you feel welcome, right? You're going to notice that because of this, they're going to start to tell their friends about how amazing not just your offer was, but the experience of working with you. And you're going to find that you're not going to have to work as hard to get new clients because referrals are going to do it for you and clients are going to keep coming back, and you're going to increase the longevity of the length of time that someone is staying with you as a client and beginning to spend more money with you. So that is how you can leverage your client experience and begin to build a stronger business. I'll see you on the next one.